This video was made possible by the good folks at Next Level Racing. To purchase a cockpit setup like mine or any other Next Level Racing products, check out nextlevelracing.com. What's up guys, it's Mike for SimRacing604 and welcome for the first time on this channel to F1 2019. So those of us who opted into the special edition, in my case the Senna and Prost version of F1 2019, we got our copy of F1 2019 just a few days before the standard edition is released. So today is June 24th, 2019, and I am lucky enough to have driven this racing title a little bit early. So I wanted to give my feedback here. I'm about 4 hours into it, and I wanted to just give a little bit of a feedback. This won't be a full review. I need a lot more time to get into the career and multiplayer modes, but I'll give you my overview so far of what I've seen, kind of a mini review here. So we'll start with the graphics. I mean, obviously, look at this. It's fantastic. It's just a gorgeous looking game. We'll take a look at some gameplay later on. You'll see that not just the replays, but also the actual gameplay modes look fantastic. It's without question one of the best looking racing games I've ever seen. In terms of the sounds are good. I mean, they're not starting from a great place. These aren't the greatest sounding F1 engines of all time, in my opinion. But for what they are, and the spotter, the crew chief, the voices, the music, it all comes together nicely here. The sound's overall very good, but again, that engine sound, they're only working with what they have to work with, so it's never going to be a tremendous blow your mind type racing title in terms of sounds. But I will say the F2 cars that are included in this title do sound a lot different than the F1 cars, and I actually prefer the F2 sounds personally. Physics and force feedback is a lot of the reason I'm sure a lot of you are here. How do I rate it? I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty high-end racing sim, and I will say the the force feedback feels great through my direct drive wheel. Everything seems to be translated nicely in terms of the curbing, in terms of slip, from understeer, the rain. It all feels fairly good. Now, will I go on record and say this is at the level of Automobilista or R Factor 2? No. I think it's quite a step behind that, but overall, very good. If I had to rate it, I would say it's a 6 or a 7 on my very opinion-based force feedback scale. The physics feel really good, or look really good as well. The way the cars sort of bounce off the curbs, the way they go around the track, you know, body roll, things like that, all seem to be translated nicely. So I think the physics and force feedback overall are very good. In terms of the AI for single-player racing, overall very well behaved. Like AI in all titles, there's some head-scratching moments with F1 2019, but overall it feels good. There's been a lot of side-by-side battles that I've had, and the AI seems to really behave yourself. Sometimes they do come out of nowhere and clip you on the side, but overall, not too bad. The UI and features, I will say this: as sim racers, we're constantly plagued with Codemasters games with the challenge of getting our possibly standalone pedal and wheel set to register with Codemasters games. It wasn't an issue at all for me. I spent about an hour total tweaking things, getting things where I like in terms of field of view and things like that, and sound levels. But I will say getting the pedal and pedals and wheel calibrated and set up right, it didn't take long at all. So I'm very impressed with the features of this game. And the UI, although it's laid out very well, I will say it's super annoying not having the mouse. You're still using the keyboard to scroll around. Obviously this is a nod to its console life, but it would be great on the PC version if we had mouse support. And I will say it's super annoying still not having VR. I thought for sure with Dirt Rally 2 we're told VR is on the horizon, but nothing yet in F1 2019, so also very annoying, but it is what it is. And finally guys, the multiplayer and career, I have not had a chance to get into that, so I will say this is just a mini review intended to give a quick overview of the title. So once I have some more experience with the multiplayer and career modes, I will get into that a little bit deeper. So in summary, guys, very impressed with F1 2019 so far. It seems to deliver on everything it promises to be. It's an improvement over F1 2018 in just about every respect, I would say. So if you're a fan of that title, I would say this is a no-brainer. And overall, if you're a sim racer or at least a racing game enthusiast and you love F1, I think this is a solid choice. I don't think you're going to go very wrong with this. It's a very cool title and I'm very impressed. And the addition of F2 does make a difference. It's very cool to have. Alright guys, let's take a look at some gameplay and then we will wrap this video up. Alright guys, so here we are, excuse my voice.
Okay, the time last lap was a 1 minute 35.2.
Here we are at Silverstone on board the Alfa Romeo, just a generic Alfa Romeo, just in time trial mode here. Just want to give you guys an idea of gameplay here. You can hear that wide open DRS. It's an interesting feature to have more air rushing by the driver's head with the DRS open, and that's what you're hearing. If you're wondering about that ghost, that is the ghost of the next competitor on the time trial mode. So as you can see, absolutely beautiful game. And if you're wondering how it drives, it's very good. I'm very, very impressed. I sort of temper my expectations for the F1 series based on, you know, driving some really high-end racing sims. But this one actually delivers. I'm very impressed with how this feels. Left the track. And you couldn't see it there, but there was a bit of understeer, and I could feel that very clearly through the wheel. It seems like Codemasters has done an excellent job with their force feedback here. And the way the cars sort of bounce around the track, the way you can manipulate these cars, and the way they bounce over curbs, really shows how, you know, the details to which they went with the physics in this game. Looks very lifelike, seems to respond in a very reasonable way. I had him till the last corner there. Alright, we'll go one more here, because that lap is invalidated. I think that one will be too. Nope. Just barely ahead of my personal best here. Yeah, just overall very impressed with this driving experience. It's ultimately what it comes down to, of course, is are the cars drivable? Are they fun to drive? And the answer to both is a resounding yes. Did that count? Why didn't I get a lap time there? Alright, we'll go one more. Alright, well that's good enough then. Left the track again. Okay, so 134.476. Overall, very impressed, guys. Really loving F1 2019 so far. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.